Hello everyone, this is General History, and this is part 3 of our Panzer Corps 2 playthrough. We just finished the invasion of Poland, we have taken Warsaw, and we are about to continue on to the invasion of Norway. Um, as you can see, it's another branching option that you can choose. You have Norway North, and Norway South. Now in my first playthrough we did Norway North. Uh, well, I did Norway North. I didn't show that one. Which in of itself was a very interesting invasion. But this time we are gonna do the Norway South attack. Uh, and now the Germans really did have two attack groups here as well. Very interesting story about the invasion of Norway. Norway was very strictly neutral. Uh, they didn't want to side with either side, but it really wasn't until the Altmark incident, which took place right off the coast of Norway here, that both sides, this is an interesting part of history, that both sides, both the Allies and the Germans, uh, began to set their sights on Norway. Yes, there were actual plans in place for Britain to actually invade Norway themselves. This would actually not come to pass because Germany did it first. Both sides were very worried about Norway's involvement in the war, because it could go both ways, especially with Finland already sort of siding with the German powers. That was actually one of the reasons for German invasion of Norway. Obviously, they claimed it to be to ensure Norwegian neutrality. They had several different reasons. They give them a lot of different it would give them a lot of different ports and air bases in which to launch attacks on Britain, as well as, like I said, given ports for the Kriegsmarine to launch the Battle of the Atlantic. This would also sort of close off Sweden, especially with, like I said, the Finland allies. Sweden would sort of have to fall under the control of Germany, simply because the only way Sweden could actually do business with any other countries would be through this strait here. Germany would also invade Denmark. The war was over with Denmark within just a few hours because they were uh, totally overwhelmed by the German forces, and they were actually told basically not to seem aggressive, not to have any force buildup in Denmark. Uh, so basically to not give Germans any reasons. As we found out, the Germans didn't need a reason to invade Denmark, even though several months earlier Hitler had claimed that they had no interest in their friends, as he put it, to the north. Uh, so, like I said, we do have the invasion of Norway to do. Like I said, I did Norway North the first time. Very interesting battle. I'd actually recommend it. It was one of my favorite battles to fight in the entire campaign. It was very interesting, because not only did you have to deal with the Norwegian forces, which you actually landed just a small force in Trondheim, uh, sort of under disguise. I believe it was supposed to represent the idea that Germany didn't actually use the traditional means of invasion like you saw at like D-Day or any other invasion. They actually used merchant ships to sneak into these harbors and unload these merchant ships with troops and materials. So you land a small force right there at Trondheim, and then you sort of spread out from there. But not only that, but you actually had to deal with the British Navy, specifically the carrier group of, was it the Glorious that was in Norway? I believe it was the Glorious that was up here in Norway. So that was fun. It didn't go as far north as Narvik. At least I don't believe it did, which would have itself been an interesting invasion. I would love for this to actually be three choices, sort of like when you first go into Operation Barbarossa. It will give you three choices. Like I said, it would be really interesting just to do the Narvik attack, to have to invade Narvik and then hold off against the British forces. But unfortunately, you don't get to choose that option. Maybe later they'll add that in a future expansion. But like I said, for this playthrough, we are going to do the Norway South invasion. So let's go ahead and get this started.
Ah, Herr General, there you are. I was talking to my friend Nikolaus, and we have just a new assignment for you. High Command has given the go-ahead for Operation Weserübung, and I want you to take a leading part in this Norwegian excursion. Your main target is the capture of Oslo, and heavy cruiser Blücher has been assigned to escort your landing parties to the capital. Simultaneously, you will need to secure major ports along the coast from here to here. Keeping them under our control will go a long way to keeping the British and French out of Norway, and thus preserving our enforcement of Norwegian neutrality. To aid you, we've mobilized additional Fallschirmjägers. Quite useful for fighting in the mountainous terrain. Infantry will be far more useful than your panzers in this battle. So, I recommend you temporarily put your tanks into reserve for this battle. Now, I know General Falconro's plan might seem a little light on specifics. If you ask me, the plan looks like it was originally some kind of vacation trip. Even so, it's your responsibility to get the job done now. I have every confidence in your abilities.
Okay. Clear room for different troops. Use move to reserve existing ones. So they said not to bring any tank forces. So a new hero. When attacking pins enemy units in place by destroying all of its movement points. Interesting. I feel like that'd be really good on a tank unit. Unfortunately, we can't bring our tanks this time, but I think I'll go ahead and just assign them anyway so I don't forget. Go ahead and give it to that guy. So let's take a look. He didn't take any casualties. Oh, wait. Well, he probably did take casualties, but I reinforced him. He's not low enough to warrant veteran replacements. Neither is he. Ah, crap. He did take a pretty significant hit. This recon unit definitely is. I'll use my elite reinforcements on him. Same with all. Shoot. I really wish. This is one of those situations where I wish I didn't have the Green Army, because I have so many veteran units at this point. Probably best to use my last one on this guy. Everybody else is just gonna get green reinforcements, although it really doesn't hurt these infantry too much. Nor did it really hurt that artillery. Oh, really affected his experience and his, which is unfortunate because I'm sure I'm going to be using the Luftwaffe a lot this mission. So as you can see, we're launching our assault from the north of Denmark here, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's not historically accurate. I believe both assaults sort of happened at the same time, and all the assaults came from sea invasion. Like I said, I could be wrong about that, but I don't know. Alright, so let's go ahead and move all these forces into reserve. I guess I could have waited to next mission to sort of up them, put them back at full strength, but oh well. So we have 4 units here. We have 12 free core slots. Tell you what, I think. Oh, we have 2 new units. We can buy Fallschirmjägers and Gerberjäger. In fact, with all these hilly terrain here, I think because you can change it every mission if you wanted to, I think I'm gonna go ahead and make this Wehrmacht infantry into Gerberjäger, and then maybe next mission turn them back into Wehrmacht, assuming they survive the assault. I'll leave the Grenadiers the way they are, same with the Pioneers, because I'm probably still going to need the Pioneers to clear out these towns. So I can deploy forces here off the coast near Stavanger. I can deploy forces here near Bergen. Can't deploy forces near Christianland, although I technically can, I guess, right here. Now most of the southern assault, if I'm not mistaken, landed here because you had the Blücher here, which During a night assault, they tried to enter the harbor, the Blucher's attack group. They got caught by the coastal batteries, took a lot of damage, and then the Blucher was actually finished off by torpedoes uh, and sank in the harbor. I believe the original plan was for the invasion force to land at Oslo. They actually had to offload away from Oslo and then move north. But after the Blucher sunk, without the support of the Navy, although there were still some destroyers able to move, I believe there was also the belief that the fjord was mined, and that's what sunk the Blucher, when I don't believe it actually was. Here in the north, we have the Kongsberg, which also sunk, not during this initial assault. I believe it was bombed and eventually would sink. We have a destroyer in the harbor that we have to contend with, but it did actually take a lot of damage from the coastal forts off Bergen as well. Alright, so let's start. Oh no, I still don't even think the rest. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get another. No. I think I'm gonna actually fill up the rest of my units with. See how many I can get. That's 6. I'm gonna bring in a heck of a lot of Fallschirmjägers. Gives me 3 more. I can bring in another. I don't want to, because looks like I do get a couple Fallschirmjägers. Yes, so I get 2 Fallschirmjägers to start off with. I just brought in 3 more. I think I'm gonna go ahead and buy another artillery piece. Give them wagons and deploy them. I don't know if I want to use this attack group to assault Stavanger. Stavanger was actually assaulted by Fallschirmjägers, which is one of the reasons I brought in so many. I don't think I'm going to do a naval invasion near Christianland, although that was the historical way it happened. They actually took a lot of damage trying to land at Christianland. And so I think all of these forces, so I'm going to go ahead and do 1 pioneer unit. And I think the good grenadier unit, I'll go ahead and land here. The other pioneer unit, and the other the Gerberjäger unit, which is mountain infantry. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. I think they're gonna land north here towards Bergen, seeing as they have all this hilly terrain that they would, if it's successful here, they have to cross all this hilly terrain just in order to get there. All this artillery, I guess I'm gonna have to. Oh, I guess if you put it in the port, it doesn't. So I do have a lot of artillery that I have to get there, but I also have all these Fallschirmjägers. And of course my Air Force. Alright, so that's going to be my deployment. Let's go ahead and start the battle. Alright, so first things first, let's see what we have in order to... So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably... Well, I guess nothing is scripted in this game, so... Let's see if we can actually save the Blucher from its fate. Try and get him out of the harbor. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and move these guys north. There is a submarine. Wasn't expecting that. See if I can save. Damn, I'm trying to get the Blucher out. Clear the way with my Air Force. I don't know what they have for an Air Force, so we'll go ahead and support my bombers. And we'll go ahead and start moving these guys up the coast. There's a submarine over there, so I want to try and stay away from that. Go ahead and embark these guys and embark this unit as well. Let's get this Fallschirmjäger unit in the air. So I have 5 groups of Fallschirmjägers. think I'm gonna land 2 near Christianland, 1 near this town here, and 2 up near Stavanger. Alright. Land him. It's gonna take another turn for me to get my units up to Stavanger. And we'll land these guys in the mountains north of Christianland. Alright. So these 3 towns, this coastal area, is going to be surrounded. Alright. Go ahead to assault on Bergen. Try and take out this destroyer. Pioneers will land here. We'll land the mountain infantry on high ground. Beautiful. Can't really attack this turn. I could move them into this town here, but there's really no point as of yet. Might as well keep them on the high ground where they actually have, where mountain infantry actually have a bonus on the high ground. And that's going to be it for turn number 1. Hopefully the Blucher will survive. Oh, I still have this guy down here in the south. I guess I can go ahead and start moving him towards... Oh, they have a patrol boat out here as well. Okay. So never mind. I'm not going to start moving them towards Oslo. Alright. Oh, they do have some fighters up here. Gladiators were British fighters, right? Yeah. Early war. They're moving them against my ships. Coastal battery opened up on the Kongsberg. Sorry, Blucher. Almost destroyed it. Maybe it is a scripted event. Oh no. I think that fighter gave away my invasion fleet's position. So that patrol boat didn't do anything to me. Alright. The A launched air assault. Ooh, they're gonna take heavier casualties than I would have expected. Even with the high ground. But let's go ahead and start assaulting. Alright, so Christianland's surrounded. Stavanger is surrounded. Destroyer is almost gone. It's gonna give a lot of supporting fire, so I might just wait to next turn. I mean, they didn't attack me outwards, so pretty sure I'm safe. They're not really losing any. I'm kind of worried if I wait to assault, but I don't want that destroyer to be able to support Bergen, so I will wait next turn. Alright, here, let's try and take out this sub before it does any more damage to my assault force. Go ahead and use my fighters against this fighter. Alright. Yeah, go ahead and start pounding him. Blucher is saved though. There you go. Look at that. Get him out of there. And you can start pounding these defenses. Submarine is gone, so we can safely start moving my forces to the north. Hopefully they're not in range of that coastal battery though. They may come under fire from this air unit next turn, however. Alright, let's go ahead and end this turn. No, he decides to attack my Stuka. I didn't even think about that coastal fort. Oh, and I forgot about the patrol boat. Oh no. Oh, they took a lot of casualties. I'll take that. Ah, still didn't destroy that destroyer, but I'm not too worried at the moment. I don't even finish them off. So there you go. Alright, so Bergen has fallen. Stavanger fell. Move these guys north to help with these guys fighting in the hills. And let's go ahead and assault Christian. We're putting up a strong defense actually. Probably because they got that coastal battery that suppressed my guys. Alright, let's take care of this patrol boat. Alright, there we go. Move him out a little bit more. I don't know if they have any other air force. Oh, they do. Yeah. Alright, so. Alright, let's start landing these guys before I take any more damage. Get these guys up on the hills. Alright. So my invasion force has landed. We are probably going to take some fire from that coastal battery though. I think next turn I'm going to get these guys into the airbase and sort of launch another. Use these two air bases to sort of launch more air raids against them. Stuka is actually holding its own against their fighters, although those are antiquated. I think I'm going to ignore that coastal fort that's sort of pounding me there. Kongsberg takes a little bit of damage, but as I said, they're still going. Okay, there we go. As I said, I'm going to go ahead and start retreating. Use this guy, try and get him up in time to support Oslo. The assault on Oslo, that is. Use this guy to take out him. There we go. Start using the Blucher, pound this fort. Actually, use the pioneers, use the grenadiers to guard that flank. Alright. Go ahead and dive bomb. Why is he gonna take two? Oh, the fighters do there. Well, let's change that. There we go. And then we'll also start bombing Oslo, softening them up. Alright, 3 suppression. Let's see if we can take Christianland. We do. Oh, well, almost. Well, we take it, but we didn't force them out. We didn't destroy him, sorry. Alright, let's go ahead and place these guys. That way we can start sending them, start landing them behind these troops out here. So they did counter here. We already moved him. Alright, I think that's it for this turn. Moving right along. Five to 4, that's not very good. Alright, let's start replacing all these men so we can get them airborne again. I guess I'm just gonna circumvent that fort. There's no reason to fight it with it. Pound. I'm gonna switch spots. There's my Stuka. Keep bombing them with the Stuka. Keep hitting Oslo. Yeah. Probably shouldn't have done that. Won't do that again. Alright. Another turn ended. Ooh. This Storm Panzer's seen a lot. They seem to always focus on it. He's too far suppressed. Ah, come on. Almost gone. Guess I still have these two towns to take as well. Guess I can use these Fallschirmjägers. I'll land them next turn, seeing as there's no real threat to their air force. Can't quite make it. These guys can go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and launch these guys way behind enemy lines. Take this town here. Probably just gonna have them dig in and hold there. They may counter, which maybe I should start moving some of my forces forward. I guess I really can't. Successfully at least moving forward. End the turn. See what they do. I forgot to move my shipping. They have more units. Oh no. It's alright, next turn I'll be landing the rest of my Fallschirmjägers, which should make dealing with all these guys a little bit easier. These guys are gonna have to get replaced. I have to divert these guys. I think what I'll do, I'll land him there. And then I'll use these guys to help next turn and take these two towns. Keep hitting him. Okay. Yeah. I'll just move them forward. Just for shits and giggles. And that destroyer is almost destroyed. Yeah, let's see if we can finally break out here. Jeez. Finally. Alright. Let's see, where are we at? 31 minutes. I think I'm actually going to stop this episode here, guys. Before I move on to the next turn, just seeing as this is going to be a longer video, so I'll break it up into 2 parts. Yeah. Yeah. Invasion's going sort of smoothly. It's a little bit rough here, which is sort of historically accurate. Well, I mean, not really historically accurate. The Germans did have to land away from Oslo and then move their forces north. They didn't really encounter much resistance, but by the time they got to Oslo, it was actually abandoned. So this isn't really truly historically accurate. There wasn't this much resistance. Although the time they did get, or the time that it took them to get up there, the royal family did actually was able to retreat, and actually I believe they made it to Britain. Is where they ended up flying to. Not sure. I'll have to check on that. But as for the meantime, everybody, thank you all for watching, and this is General History signing off.